Hey, good evening. Welcome to Odd One Out. Today is Saturday, May 8th, 2026, and a little bit of a late upload. I was too busy scrolling through and reading about how kids are peeing in litter boxes in classrooms and other just fake, made up crap from the right wing that doesn't exist. But it spreads far, and the Texas GOP, for example, is one of the embarrassing bodies of Congress that tried to make a bill to stop kids from peeing in litter boxes. And I bring up that random anecdote, little that's viral. It's been viral for over a decade now. Story because today's video is going to be about disinformation and how quickly it spreads and the damage that it causes, regardless of whether or not it's true. So, without any further ado, I'm going to jump into this. I've got a bunch of bullet points lined up. I hope that they're in decent enough order. I'm going to kind of read them off and then give my opinion on each. So, MIT researchers found false news spreads farther, faster, and deeper on Twitter than true stories, especially political misinformation. And this just is seen with whether it's Elon tweeting something ridiculous about the Great Replacement Theory or just somebody just putting out fake news. Like the real fake news and not Donald Trump's crap that he constantly shoves down your throat to make you not believe any agency, not believe any institution that criticizes him and opposes his narrative. But actual real fake news, you see that get millions of views and reactions and likes and comments. And then you'll see a correction tweet that gets put out, or a community note, and it gets maybe like 50,000 views, and it's just like, oh well, the damage is done. The false narrative is just spreading like wildfire. They're eating cats and dogs, right? That old story. Teachers are performing sex change surgeries on students while they're at school, like all this bullcrap. The litter boxes in the classrooms and kids peeing in them. So I even had a buddy that was like, I was talking to my nephew, and he said that at his high school the kids are peeing. No, they're not. Shut up. Stop. They're not. It would be just wildfire, just all over the place if that actually happened. And unfortunately, these kind of brain rot rumors, falsehoods, they are like dominating our information economy right now. That's why Trump came down the golden escalator in 2015 and just forced it down your throat that the media is always lying, fake news. And that's because he wanted to push so much bullshit, and just, sorry, I try not to cuss on this channel, push out so much bull crap and and make it to the point where you don't believe the media whenever they correct him or when they criticize him or experts and institutions. We got so much anti-vax nonsense going around. Like, do whatever you want with your kids as far as what you believe that should be done around the vaccinations. I respect your ability to parent, but please stop lying. Stop spreading false news. Stop completely rejecting science. It's 2026. It's not cool anymore. It never really was. It's always lame. But unfortunately, society gets really dumb sometimes. Kind of like you remember the moon shoes. There's just the craziest things that just take over our brains. So that was quite the tangent. I'm trying not to do that on every single bullet point that I read. But getting back to it, false political stories were 70% more likely to be retweeted than truthful ones. Researchers call this the continued influence effect, where people keep believing falsehoods even after corrections. The illusory truth effect showed repeating claims feel more true simply through repetition. Trump is famous for this. I forget who is it Callie McEnany? I can't remember who he was talking to in his first term, and he kept on just lying about something, and they were like, "Mr. President, you know that's not true, right?" And he's like, "Listen, it doesn't matter if it's not true. You keep saying it over and over and over again. You drill it into people's heads; they'll believe it. That's the whole purpose." It's why you keep on hearing about him saying about the 2020 election was stolen. Get a year and a half into his second term and nothing, absolutely nothing. Kash Patel is looking like he's about to lose his job because he can't stay sober for 24 seconds, let alone 24 hours. And so, and by the way, this just got forgotten about. About he was like, as soon as that story drops, he's like, I have big news about the 2020 election, and people are going to get arrested this week. And that was like 3 weeks ago now, and nothing happened. Nobody talks about it. It's wild what we are currently, our postmodern world that we're living in. So, the disinformation is so rampant, it's so normalized. Fact checks usually receive a fraction of engagement of the original viral lie, as I was talking about the corrections getting so much less exposure. Facebook's own internal research reportedly found outrage and divisive content generated stronger engagement. YouTube's recommendation algorithm has repeatedly been criticized for steering users toward increasingly extreme content. Again, facts and evidence and science is boring. So you got to put a twist on it. You got to put all the crazy stuff in it. It's unbelievable and it has consequences. TikTok researchers found emotionally charged political misinformation performs especially well under recommendation algorithms. It's like you get in the rabbit hole and you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. Next thing you know, you're on pizzahutplanet.org reading about Hillary Clinton killing 50 people. Social media companies make money from time on platform, not truthfulness. Again, it's a capitalist society, and they're not these companies, these social media platforms are all about making money and about making their top more wealthy. These people that make the decisions that are making multi millions and billions of dollars, they don't care about truth and accuracy. They just care about making money, and they know what sells. Again, like politics should be boring. Politics should be making you yawn. It's not like some kind of blood sport that it's that's what we've made it into be, but that's not what it should be, and that's why we are just careening off a cliff right now. Anger and fear reliably increase clicks, comments, and shares compared to calm informational content. Again, it's too boring. Researchers have linked recommendation systems to increase political polarization and radicalization. Internal meta documents showed executives' new algorithm changes worsen division in some countries, but yet they still go forward with it because it's all about the money. The business model rewards engagement first and accuracy second. Researchers found conspiracy communities often cross pollinate the recommendation systems and influencer networks. Just like I said, like you follow some morons on Twitter, and next thing you know, and they just put out constant disinformation, never get corrected. They're just getting all kinds of clickbait views. Next thing you know, you're reading about Hillary Clinton, drinking the blood of children. Just fact checking often fails because corrections are less emotional and less algorithmically amplified. Again, because it's about extremism sells. Let's move to Elon Musk because he has done the most damage in our information system. I would argue more than Donald Trump because of what he's done on X, formerly Twitter. I truthfully believe that he bought that platform just to spread massive amounts of disinformation, and it all serves him at the end of the day. It got him into the government, and you look this up because you will. His dad believed in the technate states of America, where it was like all of North and South America, and represented by the most powerful, genius white minds that would be running all the countries and making the decisions for us. They believe the superiority of the race, that white people were just smarter and able to make better decisions, and that was Elon's dad. And you see Elon just constantly putting out great replacement theory rhetoric, uh, xenophobic rhetoric, which is, he's an immigrant himself, but talking about if you import the third world, then you become the third world. And it's like, okay, like, can you get any more xenophobic, please? You're gonna look around at some Americans, some natural American citizens, not naturalized, or even those who are native born, whose parents are Somali or Nigerian, and you're gonna tell me that they're inferior to you? That's the richest man on the planet who's about to be a trillionaire. Who the right wing just loves this guy, and it's because he pumps out all this crap. The left wing used to like him whenever it was like, oh, this guy's an inventor and he's doing a lot, what seems to be a lot of good, and wasn't talking about great replacement theory nonsense. And then he flips it, and then he just goes black pill, and look where he is now. Elon Musk purchased Twitter in 2022 and rapidly cut major trust and safety teams. Again, I think it was all to push his own disinformation bullcrap and turn it into a right wing cesspool. X reinstated numerous previously banned extremist and conspiracy accounts after Musk's takeover. Researchers documented increases in hate speech slurs shortly after the acquisition, and it's all in the name of free speech. But then again, it's not even about free speech. It's all about the millions of views and reactions that the disinformation gets, and the corrections come out. It's just like crickets, nothing. In real quick tangent, I think we're at a point where we need to figure out what to do about rampant disinformation, especially when it's promulgated by who's about to be a trillionaire and has so much influence. I mean, it's one thing for some rando Joe Blow with 3 followers to talk about Hillary Clinton drinking blood, but whenever you got the most powerful, richest man on the planet who's out there pumping constant lies and just destroying our information ecosystem, and then you can throw Trump in there too, I think we need to do something about that. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry if you think that that's not free speech enough, But I just look at all the damage that's being done, and it's just like, we have to do something. And especially with freaking news networks. I cannot believe how, and you know, CNN sucks too. CNN's awful. But they're not awful in terms of truth telling. I just think they're awful and sold out to corporate interests. They're not awful for lying. Fox News lies all the time, and they're complete state media. They got sued $787 million they settled for lying. And you got former anchors on there. So the truth tellers like Tucker Carlson, who were in front of the TV saying the election was stolen and defending Donald Trump even up to 2024, and then his private media or his private texts say, "Oh, I hate this guy. He's evil. He's the devil. I can't wait till he's gone. It's almost over. When can we stop lying?" And it's just like, and they don't get punished for this. Yes, Fox News had to pay that out in the settlement, but it's the number one watch cable network. People on the right wing love Tucker Carlson. It's like, in 1 year out, do we learn anything? Like, how does this happen? So, paid verification replaced legacy verification, allowing impersonation and misinformation spikes during the rollout, and still the case. Anybody can get a check mark. Musk personally amplified false or misleading claims multiple times before corrections are merged. And I try to source my stuff. So, like CNN, BBC, Media Matters are the ones who are putting out all that. Like, if you just forget about the ones I'm able to document and verify through, senior media sources or whatever. He does this every single freaking day. Every single freaking day, he puts out nonsense. Musk endorsed a post of echoing great replacement rhetoric in 2023 by replying, "You have said the actual truth." And I should have pulled up that freaking that post, but it was along the lines of, "You import the third world, you become the third world." Major advertisers paused spending on X over concerns about extremist and anti-Semitic content placement. Researchers found misleading election-related posts vastly outperform corrections on X. And the result of that is I got a bunch of buddies in Oklahoma that actually think the 2020 election was stolen. Still. No evidence at all. 6 years past the fact. We'll be coming up on 7, and then 10, and then 15, and then 20 years later, and nothing's going to change. Major advertisers paused spending on X over concerns about extreme. Oh, yeah. Researchers found misleading election-related posts often vastly outperformed corrections on X. I just read that, sorry. Community notes can add context, but many viral falsehoods still spread massively before notes appear. Again, the damage is already done by that point. X reduced moderation staffing globally while increasing reliance on automation and crowdsourced moderation. So now, like, their community notes are from the actual community and not people whose job it is to make sure that the truth is out there. And thankfully, from my experience, the community notes are typically good. But it's just like, it's too late, bro. It's the internet. The news cycle is 15 seconds. Everything has moved on. All these people have already heard some ridiculous rhetoric and have made up their mind about something crazy, and then a correction gets put out. And even if they see it, it's just like, in 1 ear out the other, and it's just like, these people do not learn. And I'm sorry, when I say these people, this is a left-wing channel. I'm talking about right-wingers. I don't know what else to say. Donald Trump is their man that they voted for 3 times. Elon Musk is one of the biggest pushers of this movement. It is all built around lies. I don't know what to tell you. If this is not a both sides issue. There are both sides issues that exist, like corporate interest, for example, getting money out of politics, telling the truth, and like in comparisons to each, it's not even remotely close. It's literally night and day. Could not get any further apart. Influencers and media personalities financially benefit from outrage-driven engagement. Conspiracy content often converts into ad revenue, subscriptions, donations, and merchandise sales. The merch. Platforms rarely punish inflammatory content until after major backlash or advertiser pressure. Yeah, we've seen that too much. Emotional manipulation is often more profitable online than sober reporting. Again, facts are too boring. They're too boring. Politics should be boring. But, facts are too boring. Hillary Clinton drinking the blood of babies and killing 50 people that's what sells, man. The modern internet rewards certainty, confidence, and rage more than nuance or evidence. Anything that's too complex for some people, it's just, I don't care about it anymore. It's not real. The earth's flat. I can't possibly trust in experts because the man has been saying for years and years and just beating it into my brain that experts always lie. The media always lies. You can't believe anybody. And that's the whole point, is to not believe the lie, but to not believe anything and to think it's all a lie. Um, I do have to really quick take a little tangent. I've got a buddy that I won't say what they're in a really good field. I don't want to be too particular in case my friends are watching. But I got a buddy that is having to get advanced education. It's in a healthcare kind of field. It's a senior role, and they believe so much fringe conspiracy stuff, and are in the same line of thinking of believing that experts and institutions are lying. But then I ask them an expert level question in their field, and they're like, oh, and they give that the actual expert answer, and it's because they're like, yeah, I know, I've studied this, I've seen this firsthand, it's true, and it's just like that is the case in all of the fields. Like what you do, somebody else does that in another field, and they're telling you this information. They're giving you the expert analysis. Like it's the same with you. You like trust the experts in the institution. Trust science. Yes, like there can be misleading. And by the way, they correct themselves. Scientists, if they make a false claim, correct themselves. Stuff gets peer reviewed. I could go off on a tangent. It drives me nuts what we've done with rejecting institutions and objective truth in the media. The modern internet rewards certainty, confidence, and rage more than nuance and evidence. Was that point? So I've actually got this. I've got a bunch of stuff over here. I probably should go ahead and start to cut off this video, but just that's a rundown on how politics is supposed to be boring, but we made it into a blood sport. It's not. We've completely monetized politics. We've monetized social media, and the result of that is making content that increases profit, increases revenue. It's all about the rage bait. It's all about you're being replaced. It's all about hate the immigrant, hate the trans person, hate, 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 rather than nuance and complex solutions such as I'm all for strong borders, but when they get here, if they're not breaking crimes, if they're paying taxes, especially if they have a family, I think that these people deserve a pathway to that stuff's boring. It's so much more boring than get them the hell out. They're taking our jobs. Like Hillary Clinton is drinking blood. No, like Hillary's just like Bill is a total POS. A horrible person. Hillary is kind of like a right wing Democrat. So it's not like I'm a big fan of even her policies. There's plenty of criticisms I can give. She's not drinking the blood of babies. She's not underneath a pizza parlor or pizza joint. Like, it's just. But whatever, man. Politics should go back to being boring. We should go back to trusting institutions and experts in science, because I believe in a progressive society, and not even in the sense of progressive values, but just moving forward and advancing in society. I don't believe in a postmodern world, but that's what we're living in, and it drives me crazy. I feel like I'm living in a fever dream, but I'm here to fight it. So be there to fight it with me. It's a little bit of a ramble fest. That's how my videos go. Thank you for joining. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Odd one out.